What's up and happy Friday! This is your host Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today and Non-Fungible tomorrow. And today I do want to have a different approach to the show. I'm not really going to show you news, but I'm going to show you some news, but I'm going to share more about my personal views about the market in general and the inconvenient truth of what I think is going to happen in the market. Okay, so the first thing we need to talk about is why did Ethereum out of the sudden in the last 45 minutes pump all the way to 1,617. So just at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, Ethereum was dumping all the way to 1,557, and it pumps all the way up in the last 45 minutes. And one of the reasons for this is because the U.S. non-farm employment change came out. Okay, so what happened was that if you look at this is previous, this is actual, this is forecast. And if you look at this, actually the actual numbers are higher than the forecast, which basically means that jobs are actually very strong. People are being employed. So when this happens, the market dumps, right? Because it means that the Feds are going to not pivot, right? They're going to be more hawkish in terms of the interest rate hikes. But then what happened was that the unemployment rate came in higher than expected, okay? And then the hourly earnings came in higher than expected. And because of the unemployment rate with 0.1%, it basically sent the market skyrocketing, right? Because this is the only reason why the market is fluctuating so greatly right now. And I don't see other reasons because for this, right? I was just looking at Twitter. I don't see any other additional reason. But regardless, I do want to talk about the inconvenient truth. So lately, we have been seeing a lot of moves by big companies. We've been seeing Instagram creating a NFT marketplace. We've seen JP Morgan investing in DeFi. We've seen a lot of brands. We've seen a lot of big companies, institutions entering the Web3 space. So even though this is something that calls for celebration, I'm actually a little bit, how do I say this? I think it's a double-edged sword. It has nothing to do with decentralization, the ethos or whatever or anything, right? It has more to do about the economic environment that we are in. Because if you look at the economic environment, liquidity is going down with the Fed's tightening even more and more. Inflation is still at all-time high. And you have the Bank of England increasing rate for X amount of years ago. Like all of these rate hikes are unprecedented, right? And it really shows you that the market is doing quite bad, right? Because you had a pandemic, and after this pandemic, things are starting to show, right? The inherent structural problems of the world are starting to show. And for example, right, why did Meta pivot to metaverse, right? Because think about it, there is nothing else. There's no additional narrative in the Web2 space. You have a website. The website is a 2D platform, and that's it, right? And there's no narrative, and therefore they have no choice but to really come up with a whole new narrative saying that the metaverse is actually the next iteration of the internet, of 3D spaces where people want to be, right? And that's the whole reason for this whole metaverse. And that's pretty much the same with a lot of these ETF, these financial institutions, even Hong Kong themselves are saying that, oh, we're going to embrace digital asset because this is a very lucrative market, and a lot of brands, a lot of institutions are eyeing this, and therefore they're coming into here. But the problem is there is no new liquidity, right? There is this is the narrative that they could put out, right? Because institutional finance, what else can they invest in, right? Traditional tech stocks have been running. What else can you go into? Web3, blockchain, something kind of new. Oh, NFT is cool, money, a lot of money there. Why not get into this space, right? And it's so easy to transfer money. So it's good to be seeing more adoptions by businesses and stuff like that. We're seeing more and more use case. I do think that from a broader scale of the markets, this is actually quite negative, right? Because brands or businesses have no other narrative that they could ride on. There's no other thing that could help them, get out of this thing, right? And therefore, they're thinking of a lot of new stories to come out with, right? Oh, check out decentralized finance. Check out crypto. Check out metaverse. Oh, the next iteration of the internet. So I do think that the market is in a state right now. But in the long term, I think that the technology has its advantages. But right now, in the short term, especially when the market is so bad, this is really kind of showing, right? A lot of brands coming into here really shows that they are scrambling for liquidity. Because if you look at a tweet that I posted today, right? Warner Brothers is firing the filming, some people from the filming division. And at the same time, Warner Brothers is entering into the NFT space by, I think it was the partnership with nifties for the Game of Thrones NFTs. So you do see how they're trying to struggle, how a lot of businesses are struggling to survive, and trying to enter the space, hopefully to help it survive. And usually when that thing happens, when there's a desperate measures and stuff like that, it might not be a long thought out plan. It might not be like, for example, like the Lord of the Rings NFTs, right? It's just a interactive site, token gated and stuff like that, right? So what else is there, right? Can you make profile pictures of Lord of the Rings, hobbits and stuff like that? Like, they don't have the license right for that, right? But of course, that is the storytelling aspect. That is the consumer experience that people want to experience, and not just an interactive website, right? If an interactive website, why can't we do it with a not an NFT, but just a digital collectible or some sort of membership pass to do that, right? So yeah, there's a lot of this thing that's happening that I just want to talk about. And it makes me very bearish to a certain extent in the macro environment. And seeing how these brands are coming in, but hopefully things could turn out better, right? If you're watching this video, if you're in this space, it really shows you that you are, the innovative group, right? You are the people who want to know more about the markets. That's why you watch these videos, right? So you are in good hands, I do believe. So without further ado, let's look at the traditional market. Traditional market, US payroll, yeah, we talked about it. So it was strong, so that's why the market jumped, and then now it pumped back up because of the unemployment rate. Market in general right now is pumping, but at the same time, Elon Musk will start laying off Twitter staffers, right? They're saying that he's gonna lay off 50% of Twitter employees. And you also talk about Apple, right? I retweeted about Apple stopping all the hiring besides people who are in research and development, right? So the people who are building new things, the people who are adding value potentially in the future is something that they're looking for, but everything is kind of contracting, right? So if you look at the stock here, it's kind of like red, nothing much. Cryptocurrency market cap, we are at 1 trillion. Okay, so we are holding there. Bitcoin at 20,000, Ethereum at 1,630. It really shows you how volatile the market is. But there is still a very bullish narrative right now. Stablecoins is going down, total market cap going up. Basically means that people are buying crypto right now. They do think that there might be a upward potential. And moving on, if you look at, we are moving up slowly. We'll see if there's another jump. Bitcoin dominance is still going down, guys. It is going down. So the more it goes down. So previously, this low of Bitcoin dominance was because of the Ethereum 2.0 merge. I think, it was September, yeah. So now it's going down. So it's kind of like we're seeing an altcoin season, and when that happens, you gotta start be careful, right? A lot of altcoins are pumping individually. So yeah, moving on, crypto, MicroStrategy will be up 1.6 billion if it invested in Ethereum. There's no second best though. So, MicroStrategy, MicroStrategy is all into Bitcoin. OKX token jumps 25%. Crypto exchange open shop in the Bahamas. So they went to the Bahamas, and I saw FTX saying welcome. ASICS stepped in to launch one issue, Solana NFT. So ASICS actually worked with another walking brand before this partnership. So I don't think this is actually very new. We talked about the CEO of the Web3 gaming company. Twitter was hacked, direct people to scam link. Yuga Labs is hiring the best and brightest to build the next internet, CEO says. So a lot of news about Yuga Labs, and also how Q4 in this year is going to be very exciting for the metaverse, right? This I think is interesting, and that is this, right? China hosts 3.9 billion worth of Bitcoin despite anti-crypto stance, right? Because a lot of these crypto has been confiscated by the Chinese government, right? Rumors that Andrew Cohen return cost phantom to spike 24. So Andrew Cohen is like the developer who kind of stopped working in DeFi, and now he's coming back. So causing the token to spike. There's another interesting thing that I saw about just a few days ago, and it is about FTX token holdings, right? It seems that a lot of FTX net asset is in stake FTT tokens. So there was this post by Dylan the Care saying that, oh, this is actually not a good look, right? So definitely check that out. So looking at NFT news, see today, we talked about the guy's Twitter was hacked, and then what happened was that it was a swap. More than 140 NFTs were stolen and cost around 850K, and 28K US dollar was stolen. Yuga Labs is turning on Meebits, so Meebits had a new website, and then they're trying to activate it. So it really shares that this Yuga Labs is starting to do something in Q4. KPL versus yesterday, Mint went for like a public or the citizen mint. Gas was around 5,000 gray, so it was kind of interesting to see this. And Frank announced that Ukes is gonna be reviewing in the next 48 hours. I think it's reviewing right now. Friendship basis, Mint is now live after delay this morning, verifying the art block Discord. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. So yeah, we talked about GameStop and Game of Thrones NFTs. So yeah, guys. Have a great weekend, and this is your host Non-Fungible TC. We survived another week, right? Another volatile week with the FOMC meeting and stuff like that. So yeah, signing out.